I don't have all the answers. All I'm doing right now is we're in survival mode, Dan, and I'm trying to save as many people as I can.
Survival mode. Back with a Fox News alert, an absolute nightmare situation playing out right now in Port Arthur, Texas, which is east of Houston. People living in panic mode.
Yeah, why not? The victims who escaped to shelters and thought they were okay, now they're being flooded out again from the shelters. Social media lighting up desperate pleas for help as nearly every home in the city underwater.
Rob Schmidt is live in Sugar Land, Texas, with the breaking details unfolding this hour. Rob?
Hey guys, yeah, having a hard time hearing you on IFB, but here we are. We're in Houston right now. We're right outside Houston, Sugar Land, just to the west. And as you can see, it's actually a beautiful morning here. The skies are clearing up. That's going to help a lot in the drying out process, what is going to be a very long drying out process. But we're not through the woods here, even in Houston yet, because you've still got rivers coming up. You've still got reservoirs that are overfilled with water. That's going to spill down into neighborhoods. So you could see in some selective areas water continuing to rise, especially if we continue to see those rivers like the Brazos River, which is nearby here, continue to go up from water that's coming up from the north. So we've got to deal with that. The other big issue this morning, of course, Port Arthur, Texas, which is about 100 miles east of here. It's right on the border of Louisiana and Texas, and they have gotten a tremendous amount of rain from the storm as well, something like 40 inches. And this is an area that is just surrounded by water, and from what we understand, the situation is very dire in Port Arthur, Texas this morning. It's a town of about 50,000 people. They did not evacuate Port Arthur, Texas. They made shelters, from what I can tell, at a bowling alley and also at the Port Arthur Civic Center. And those shelters have begun to flood themselves. So the places where people have gone for refuge from the storm, as their homes have flooded, now the shelters are flooding. Imagine that situation and what they're trying to deal with, as we have some video of that. And we actually got a soundbite from one woman here who says, where do they go now? They can't go home, and the shelter is now filling up with water. Let's listen to that.
The water is rising inside of the Port Arthur Civic Center. The only place we could go. God help us all.
We also we were following a pregnant woman on Twitter who was tweeting out that she had a very low battery on her phone. She didn't have a charger because I think her power was out. And she said, I've been calling and calling. The other issue is that there's not enough people to answer the phones for 911. So this woman was telling her friends and her family on Twitter, please keep calling for me. I'm pregnant and I have no way out of my house. The situation is extremely dire. The sun will come out, though, on Port Arthur today at some point. The storm will clear that area, we expect, by noon, according to local meteorologists there. And also we can tell you the oil refinery there is being shut down as a precaution. So that is the situation out of East Texas and South Texas here in Houston. We'll send it back to you guys.
Rob Schmidt, live from Sugar Land, Texas, talking about Port Arthur, which is underwater right now.